better, it's just getting worse. They'll stick you up for all your...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rants and Tens podcast with Daryl Smith Jr.
Shay Love.
Ray Parker.
Yeah, clearly he's in his phone more than he's in this moment.
You literally just said I'm done.
He literally just said I'm done. Phone boning for at least the past 15 minutes. Said he was done. But here we go. We start the show. He's still going. So, que sera. How y'all doing?
Amazing. Reeling off a good weekend. How about y'all?
Samesies.
I'm good. I feel like I pulled the shade this week, and I spent 10 hours with my mother and my grandmother and my sister and that whole crew, my maternal family.
Why is that a shade?
Because you're like the family one of the group. Not that Ray's not family, not that I'm not family, but like...
Yeah, I'm
You're always
you. Oh, exactly.
I am.
10 hours didn't feel bad. It was great, actually. Yeah. But it was probably the first... No, it was just probably the first time I've ever consciously stayed that long.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be out.
No, yeah, it's totally a shade thing then. I'm definitely always with my family.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
They're fun.
Hold on, we got a guest on the show. Can we introduce our...
Yeah, and this is why I will not be staying, because I'm always on daddy duty, but I'm on solo daddy duty today, so that is without support. So I'm just going to be rocking out with my boy, my namesake, Young Titan. Say hi.
You're like, yeah, all right.
Dice hola. See?
I'm trying to
Trying to learn Spanish. He's making me relearn Spanish. Dice hola.
No?
No?
You ain't got no words?
It's dead air, bro. You
he
need
talks.
to do something.
Watch, he gonna be on the microphone real soon. I'm grabbing another instant.
He talks. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing the solo daddy, tending to my son and all of his needs as a good quality father should.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So
we are not a rarity.
So the main media thinks we are.
You know what I'm saying? The media will have us believe that we are a rarity, yet the more current research is saying black fathers are the most active fathers of all the demographics.
I think that's because we trying to prove that we ain't.
That might be true.
That we ain't the absent fathers that they all peg us to be.
Right, son?
These ain't like cigarettes, huh?
I was very excited. Probably not.
Say something.
It ain't that deep if not.
You just want to touch it.
That's
So you trying to grab the microphone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what's up? What's new? What y'all got going on?
Nothing new, really. I had my graduation party this weekend.
Lit. Sorry I missed it.
Was
I wanted to come.
super lit.
It was my sister's birthday that same day. Thus the 10 hours. That's not your graduation party.
Totally fine, guys. Didn't even realize you weren't there. I absolutely did, and I thought to myself, I'm going to say something to these niggas when I see them. But
so which one is the truth?
Huh?
We just lied twice.
Something is a lie.
What or did I lie twice?
One has to be a lie, or both is a lie.
We shall see with my energy.
Both are a lie.
Girl, your energy is not indicative of a mood.
So why do we have graduation parties at this point?
So listen, that's so funny because one of my friends was like, maybe y'all should talk about celebrations. Like when it's cool to do it, when it's not.
We should always celebrate, but
a party.
When we label something a party.
Yeah. So my mom and dad did this. They wanted to. I wasn't going to protest. They felt like it was an accomplishment.
They
wanted to celebrate me. So I was here for it.
We definitely proud of you. I'm gonna throw just a slight sheen of shade. Just a sheen of shade.
A sheen of shade.
A
sheen of shade.
Go ahead.
You might. Ray, this is a me and you thing. You have your master's, yes?
Yes.
I have my master's, yes. Once you get a master's, and you've especially, you had it for a number of years, do you really, is it exciting? Do you care when somebody already shaking his head? When somebody else gets a master's, it's like, no, I've been there, done that.
I mean, it's not even that.
No shade.
No.
Just sheen of shade. No shade.
That?
Definitely do it, girl. Black magic, all that.
Let me
definitely got dark.
So this is my take on it. It's been 10 years, right? So it's just like, now that I've had it for this long, my life still feels the same as it would be without it. But I don't know, like, in what realm to exist without it. Meaning, like, I don't know what the difference is because I had it since I've been out of college.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you worked for it, you earned it. Definitely should celebrate it. And that's just,
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board with that. So a
Definitely
celebration
clap, clap, bravo.
I'm
we are
happy.
proud of you. We're
You
happy
earned
for you. You earned it. You did it. Black Girl Magic.
That's
Was just saying.
Black excellence.
You'll see that. You'll see it. 5 years from now, when your friend or someone you know is getting it, you're like, yeah, go for you. But you're like, do I need to go to a party? Like,
No,
you was supposed to come because I invited you.
Yeah, no, it don't matter. I'll come because we celebrate
I'll come
birthdays.
to party with you.
You have a birthday every year. We celebrate birthdays.
I don't need a reason to party. But
I was going to come.
if a party is
The reason was the
necessary.
invite.
Yeah,
Well, like I said, my little sister's birthday was March 16th, so I was
We both
pretty
had
happy.
excuses. I had a family dinner. My girl's birthday is tomorrow, but we celebrated Saturday and yesterday.
I'm
So,
ready to go.
Day party.
what, yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yesterday actually turned into a day party.
Okay.
The intention was to go bowling.
Right.
And I found out that the bowling alley that they just opened in Northern Liberties has recently now closed.
Which
Revolutions.
one? Oh, yeah.
So we were salty.
Crazy. That's where I was supposed to go with the guy that I ended up dropping off because of him getting there late. And that's where I was one of his ex, like, it's closed. It's like, fam, you suggested the place. I wasn't supposed to do the fucking research.
Did you tell
Like,
me it was closed prior to this then?
But I thought you said it was
No.
closed at that hour.
that's what I thought. Well, he said the bowling part was closed. The bar in
Yeah,
there
you
was
said
open.
that.
So I guess it probably closed in progressions, I'm assuming.
Oh, I don't know, but that shit was closed, and I had planned the whole day. I text like 20 people, like, this where we gonna be at.
Ray's bullshit.
No.
Here's what Ray did. It was, I'm throwing out arbitrary time because I don't remember the exact time. It's like 3 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, we're gonna go to Revolution. Celebrate the bowl. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
I'm petty and have receipts.
And then at the time,
Listen.
oh, I got it too, boy.
Yeah,
Then at the
so read
time,
it. Go back and read it real
then
quick.
he's like, oh, well, it's closed. So, yeah, no.
What's this?
Look.
What did it say? What time was it? Yesterday at what time?
All right, I'm lying. It was 10:52 a.m.
And I said good morning in the text.
Yeah,
So obviously
yeah.
it's that morning.
At 3 p.m. But no. At 3
Revolution's
p.m.
closed.
No.
Oh, he said it's closed.
Right, but at 3
I was
p.m.
there.
Now he said it's closed. Well, shouldn't you have gotten there a little bit early? If
Nigga,
you
I was
people
there
to
at
party?
2:45, and the shit was closed. And I was like, oh shit, like
We're
we gotta
calling
figure it
all
out.
It don't
Oh,
matter.
it was
though.
okay. It was
'Cause
so
if you look
you
at
text
Ray's,
after it was closed.
Ray's or one of y'all, it's Ray's or Reach's Instagram. Ray is a trash bowler. Trash.
I'm terrible.
Like,
Hold on. Let me go
was
through the
sad,
progression of the
yo.
day though, because it definitely progressed. So we started out, we
All right,
went
he
to
getting
Revolutions.
anxious. We out.
Revolutions was closed. Then we called an audible, and Golf and Social was right around the corner, across from the Sugar House. So we go to Golf and Social, mayhem. Golf and Social was definitely hitting the lid, but it's not our.
Liberties was there. North Pole was there too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, North Bowl is not far from there, but I ain't really want to go to North Bowl.
Yeah.
We ended up going, so we went to Golf and Social, had a couple drinks there. It was actually turned out to be my old head birthday, so we sat around, shot the shit there. Then we went to the South Bowl, and South Bowl was fun as shit actually.
I like South Bowl.
Yeah,
I
South-
mean, it's really not much different than North Bowl. I think North Bowl is the way that it is and has the air that it does because of where it is. It's in Northern Liberty. South Bowl is, I mean, they serve the same food, like everything. It's really inexpensive, but Northern Liberties is also that way. But again, it's because of the space that it's in, like the location of it.
Was North Bowl more expensive than South Bowl?
No,
South
they're
Bowl-
actually the same.
Relatively,
Yeah.
South Bowl was actually cheaper than Revolutions would have been had I lived
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So
It's
it was
inexpensive.
perfect. It worked out perfect for me. And then from South Bowl, we ended up meeting my cousin at this spot called Mirage on South Street, like 2nd and South, right where that old little Irish bar used to be, right next door to it. It's like a little lounge that he just opened. I guess he just opened it called Mirage. Mirage was fun.
So many
Went there,
things
did hookah and shit like that.
open and close on South Street is crazy.
I know everything is closed. I think the competition has finally arrived for South Street. Like South Street was a hub, everybody went there. But
Right.
now the Northern Liberties vibe has popped up.
I
Fishtown's
love
starting to be a
Northern
vibe.
Liberties
Yeah,
vibe,
me too.
though.
Um,
It's so good.
yeah, so people are starting to down Center City is starting to pop up with new spots all the time.
Right.
So it's just like,
Never loved Center City.
yeah,
I
it's
feel
just
like
be too
it's,
played
too
up.
much hustle and bustle.
Yeah, it's just too played up.
Yeah.
Like it. So and then not just Northern Liberties, but that whole Sugar House coming along to the city. Like it's starting to be more attractions in the city.
Yeah.
South Street was like a staple for as long as we go shopping down there. We got
And
shopping.
then when you're kids, South Street is like the place. You know what I mean? Like Northern Liberties children, not children, but younger people, they can't necessarily appreciate it. Like a high schooler can't appreciate Northern Liberties the way I appreciate Northern Liberties. Yeah, they be like,
they can't get
it's
nothing.
dumb. Like what is this stupid?
Right, they won't get nothing.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
So
they wouldn't get it.
All they can do up there is eat at best if they can get to the.
They go to the little stores, but then that's like during the day because at night it's a different spot. Yeah.
So South Street not for us anyway. So we too young for it. That's probably what it is. No, but a lot of places have closed down there except the major food places and a couple jewelry stores. That's old. Other than that, I don't see no reason to be on South Street as a grown man. Like I might hit Fat Tuesdays on a random day, but I don't even drink it.
It was this bar actually across the street from Fat Tuesdays that me and Talia loved.
Remember we went there?
Yeah, we went there. Did we go to Fat Tuesdays
we
first?
We went to Fat Tuesday first and went there. We was all drunk that night.
And their drinks. It had to have been a Friday or Saturday night.
It was me, you, Talia, Daryl.
I don't know. It was a few
of us. Was it our little
us.
mini reunion joint that we had? Remember? We had a mini reunion before our actual reunion. It was like a
It might have been. And I think we just kept going because we went to Fat Tuesdays. Yes, you're right.
And then we
a lot of us
down
went to
University
Fat Tuesdays.
City.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
It was me. I forgot who all came. Did Delvon come out?
I don't know. I feel like Simone was there.
Yeah, Simone, Ashley came.
Yeah.
Fuck. We had like a mini ass little makeshift reunion one day.
It was. And we had a good time. I feel like Karan probably did. I feel like Colin did too, though. Anyway, it was a good time. We did. Definitely. We had a good time. But that bar used to be the spot because on Friday nights they always had like a special, like a nightly special or whatever. It wasn't just a happy hour vibe. But on Fridays they had bombs for $5. So me and Talia used to go there and get trashed. Why did that turn into the place? I don't know. But I think it was because it was never too poppin'. Like it was a place where like we fuck with the bartender, we having conversations when we come in there like, hey, you know what I mean? Like that was the vibe it was. And I love a little
that's
guy
the first
place.
signs of being an alcoholic, right?
Yeah,
when
for sure.
When you and a bartender on a first name basis.
For sure. His name was Spike, yep. And he had something was wrong with his neck. Like he must have got sliced in his neck or something because he was like yeah. But it was lit for that reason. And then the bartender changed. We were like, this place is trash. I'm never coming here again.
It's a wrap.
It really was. And then they stopped having the nightly drink special. She was like,
yeah, they new owners. That's
whack.
New owner trying to make as much money as possible.
Joint.
Kill the whole vibe.
So
they forget that your true customer are the ones that's gonna return week to week to week. You want to create the same experience for those people is important because those are the people that keep you afloat. Everybody else is just a bonus.
It really is.
They be messing up with that, man.
I hate when my little spot started. Like drinkers on, what was that, 39th?
Yeah, Chestnut.
That was the spot.
That was my spot
like,
too.
Always.
Whenever I used to come home from school, we used to go there and get trash because that reminded me of my bar up at school. Cheap ass liquor.
Yep.
This is when I still drank cheap liquor. $3 shots. Fucking $4 rum and coke all night.
Their bottles were $5. I remember this one time, me and Talia, it was popping this night too. And we just went there on the whim because we would go there so often. We would go there like on a regular night where nobody was there, but it was just like a chill vibe and the drinks were cheap. And it wasn't like super bottom shelf liquor, you know what I mean? So we went there, it was popping. We saw Anton. And I think, he just kept buying the drinks. So we were already trashed. So I really feel like we came from South Street, came down there because we wanted to be close to the home. So we were already trashed. He was buying the drinks. I was dealing with this guy at the time. So the next day, me and the guy I was dealing with had somewhere to go. It was like a cookout or something. And this girl just happened to be at Drinkers that night. And she was like, oh, yeah, I remember you because of the blonde hair and the little swoop. She was like, I remember you. That guy came in and got you trashed. I'm dealing with the guy that I'm near with.
She just threw you
said,
right under the bus.
Join in this time. Like, what? I was like, oh,
You wouldn't understand.
Cool.
Cool.
It was the worst.
Awkward. How you think about
awkward.
it? What he... Was he tight? He like...
He wasn't... he probably was, but a part of the reason me and him didn't work is because he was not, like... The way that he handled his aggressions or his angers wasn't it didn't make sense to me. It would be like these little microaggressions, and he wouldn't necessarily go at it head on. He would just say little things, and then when he went at it head on, because I didn't really want to deal with nobody seriously, I would just be like, oh my God, who's the girl here? You know, like stuff like that. So it ended because of that. But I don't think he tackled it head on. He was just like,
He was a little too
oh,
emotional.
you were out. You knew I was out. Like I told you. Like that's why you was bitching that I didn't come see you last night, because I was out. Like what do you?
Oh yeah.
You knew I was out. That's not the question you want to ask, but you're not going to ask the question you want to ask.
Is those days still alive? Waiting on people? Like being like, yo, you coming to see me tonight? No, I got something to do tonight. You like, dang, my whole day was playing around you. Because I ain't been out and single in a long time, so I just need to know.
Yeah. I mean, but it really depends on a person. Like it depends on how heavy you fuck with this person. You know what I mean? It's still alive.
When
though.
I was single, I was super single. I realized that a good portion of my teenage and adult life has been spent in a relationship. So when I would be single, like in those spurts, like I would be super duper single, like playing the field like a motherfucker. And I just don't remember being single and liking chicks that much.
Right.
So whereas though I cared whether or not they hit me up, but usually used to be like, oh, options, like whatever,
Next.
being a volume shooter.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, damn, do people still do
do people still like people? Is that
no,
what thing?
Not even that. Just like, because if I can't put a stamp on it like it's mine, I really don't care.
Right.
Like, and that was just my mentality as a single person. Like, yo, I just be wondering, like, niggas be really putting they eggs in the bag, like, bitch. Oh, you ain't call. Oh, it's late. I'm out here. Like, yo, what's up? We out? We hitting the town? But I don't know.
No, I think it's definitely a pocket for it, but it's a pocket for everything.
Yeah, I can find it.
Yeah, it's a pocket for it.
Yeah, I do not miss being single though. It's a lot of work. But yeah, this weekend was popping up. We had, I drank literally from 1:30 yesterday till 9 last night. And the only reason I stopped drinking is because I passed out. Like, other than that, we was about to continue to drink in the house.
Really?
But it was just like, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the same mode as you, like 3 o'clock in the morning, but I didn't have to throw up. I had to come out the oven, but I was like, fuck that.
I didn't eat anything Saturday. I literally ate nothing. I think the only thing I consumed outside of alcohol was a coffee in the morning because we had to set up the place or whatever. So I just had a coffee. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna eat because we cooked. It was, it's a lot of food. We had an overload of food. Like, we had an overload of everything, though, because we also had an overload of liquor. I made sure of it. So I'm like, I'm gonna eat, I'm mean, just everybody coming in. I'm saying hi, saying what's up. I'm in the mix. And then my aunt gives me a glass that she got, like, engraved for me. So I'm like, I'm drinking out of this all night. I made myself a little drink in the cups that we had, but then she gave me that. I was like, oh, lit. And of course, I'm never going to let it be empty.
Of course not.
Nobody's going to let it be empty.
You pulled the Ray from last week, huh?
Oh my God. So I'm just drinking. And I'm so in the mix, like saying what's up. Just like being in this energy because it was just fun. It was a fun time. Never ate anything. Like all day I didn't have breakfast, I didn't have lunch, and I didn't eat there. I ate nothing. I drank no water. It was straight whiskey and champagne. And then, I don't know, some shot that my cousin gave me.
Champagne and liquor do not mix. I don't know how people do that shit.
I can do it on a regular basis. Like, if I ate, it wouldn't have bothered me at all.
It don't matter if I eat a hoagie, a fucking hoagie right before that shit. If I take a shot of liquor and then drink champagne and then try to go back to liquor or continue to drink champagne, I will be sick for the rest of the day.
Really? No, that's not me.
And that's the only thing that get me sick instantly. Like, usually, I can make it through the night, and then at the end, I'm like, oh, shit hits you like a bulldozer. Fuck no. Champagne hits me, like, immediately.
Really?
I know it's a champagne.
I think, and I'm grateful that I don't have that situation because I love champagne, but I also love whiskey. Yeah. Like, I want them both all the time if I can have it. So it was, but yeah, I definitely paid for that. Yeah, like, I paid for it. And all my aunts are like, because everybody's rookie mistake. They like, it's a rookie mistake. That's not how we do things. And my aunt's like, did you take a towel? And I was like, I did, but I also didn't eat, so that messed it up worse. Like,
that's even worse.
Like, oh shit, you didn't drink any water. I was like, I done told you already.
It was all
what
whiskey.
Happened. It
whiskey
was just...
and champagne. That's it. We were champagne.
That was it.
I wanted to make that joint too. Bad part was we was leaving dinner. It was already 9 o'clock. I'm like, where that joint at? all the way up goddamn Westchester Pike. I'd been there at 9:45. I'm like, this ignorant time.
Yeah, it was a good time. We all had a good time.
Right, that sound like it, man.
Really
Anybody from school come?
I mean, just Talia and Angel.
Talia.
And Diane.
Yeah,
Of course,
man, that was fun.
yeah.
And of course, Davon.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
You forgot he went to our
because
school?
he's so bad. He's so bad. He a main building bull.
He was perpetrating a moat, dude.
He was perpetrating
Nigga supposed to be in main building.
No, that was by the grace of my mom. She was in Mo because I didn't like.
Speaking of getting kids into school, what about these white ladies? I call her Sandra Bullock, but the Full House lady. Fuck is her name? Uncle
Which
Jesse's
one?
wife.
Oh, so yeah, I didn't know what happened with that. I just been seeing memes and I'm like,
They cut the check to get their kids into school because their kids didn't have the test scores.
oh, that was a part of they were a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
So that was the whole thing. That's why everybody was talking about Full House and Uncle Jesse's wife. Going
Yes,
down
I'm like,
shit.
what's up with this?
Yeah.
I didn't connect the two
She
at
played on
all.
Full House. I forgot who the other actress was.
Oh, burn.
But, fuck is her
But
name?
it's done in the dark.
I know. But this shit's been going on for years. Are we really acting like famous people or just people in like politics? Their kids are just that smart,
Right.
Like, you know, George Bush
Right.
was a C student and got into where you go, Harvard or some shit.
Like, come
Like
on,
we
guys.
know these kids that's going to Ivy League school. Some of them that come from wealthy families. Some of them don't have the test scores. They might have just cut a check to the alumni association or to some big fund, made a donation to the school and got the kid in school.
Precisely.
I mean, I don't know, women still taking the Forrest Gump mom's approach. You know what I mean? But
Get it
that
done.
might be a thing too. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be the old-fashioned way or the millionaire's way.
Right.
I wasn't even offended by it. Everybody else was. I wasn't surprised or offended. I don't be surprised by nothing these days. That's probably what the issue is. But
I think people take issue because it takes a spot from somebody that busts their ass to get the grades, to get the spot that they can't get because somebody paid for this lackluster, weak ass, just not up to par ass student
what
to
their
take that
standards
spot.
were, what they said their standards were.
Right.
And somebody that's equally qualified. Well, people, welcome to America.
Welcome to America.
Because this is the game. That's the game right there. It's like, yeah, you can try to take the traditional route and be honest and be upfront. Of course, we all want to do it the honest way. But there are people backdooring in everything. It's people that find a way. Now, you can be mad at the people that know how to play the game or plays the game to their benefit, or you can be mad at the people that created the game to begin with.
You don't hate the player.
Hate the game.
Hate the game.
So I look at it from that standpoint, like they playing the game, and some people are really trying to earn it off of merit because we want to feel like we deserving of the positions we get in life. But then it's just like, I'm glad you worked hard, bro. You could have just took this back door. Oh, you ain't had an opportunity? Too bad. Excuse me. Let me jump the line. And we're unapologetic about that, too, because at the club, if you pay a little extra $50, you'll walk past everybody like, look, man, I got a table. And all these peasants standing out here in the blizzard, and we be unapologetic about that shit. I think that's just life, period.
Let's really have a conversation about the people standing outside in the fucking blizzard to get into a club.
I mean, that could be a whole conversation in
A
itself.
whole conversation.
But sometimes, if you really want to go to that club, you're going to pay that extra $50 so your ass ain't the one standing out in that blizzard trying to wait to get in. I think the whole club scene overrated to begin with, but just in general.
I never liked it. It was never my thing.
What the big club scene?
Yeah.
It's just, I thought it was dumb, like the charade that it turned partying into. Like it really made a mockery of what actually, like, your party was a good time. Genuinely, partly because your family was there, but secondly because you could just have a free range to party.
Right.
You could go, you could work the room, you could mingle, you can, you know what I'm saying? Like if you go.
You know what's so crazy? I wanted Reach to come because I wanted her to see the spot because the price my parents paid for this spot, and it was massive. They had a kitchen, was so inexpensive, and I wanted her to see it for her situation. Like, I'll tell her about it though.
But we was going to take because my brother had a fight party that night too. So we was going to take the kids out, but Marley was, of course, grumpy when we left the joint. So that threw the whole vibe off as to us keeping it moving. Because I'm like, well, what you want to get your kid? Your mom watch the kids? She like, well, no, my mom got something to do. I'm like, look, man, I'm going to see this fight one way
Right.
or the other. You can stay in the house by yourself with the kids, or we could just take their little asses along. They really don't have a say-so in my book.
Right.
But she ain't like me. She's a little more sympathetic to the
Mm-hmm.
kids. So, but yeah, because I was trying to make it joint, but it was too late. But either way, it was still like, fuck, I wanted to go. I wanted to do everything that night.
Right. Don't you hate nights like that? Where you just like, why is everything happening right now? I just wish I could divide myself.
It was literally one of those days. Like, everything was just like, boom, boom, boom. But yeah, well, she'll check it out though. Just give it an ad, or just give me an ad. I'll put it on her.
Because and it's nice. It's a really nice looking spot.
Yeah, I'll put it on her radar.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, yeah, the whole club scene, I've been over that shit too. Like, honestly, and because I went to Golf and Social yesterday, and yeah, like the whole popping bottles and the spark. I don't mind buying a bottle. It'd be the sparklers. I'm like, yo, why do people want this much attention? Like, what is going on?
Matters.
What is this? And people got their phones out for the Instagram and shit. I'm just like, yo, what is going on? And if you ever see me in my element, like in my day, in my element though, like I work the shit out of a room. Like, remember how I was in high school? Like, I used to talk to everybody in the fucking room. Like, I would go from one side of the room to the next side of the room and just be working the room. That's me at a fucking club. Like, I will go in. I like to work the room. I gotta see what's going on. People sing.
I don't, and that's why it's just not for me. Like, that's not. I mean, I'm not saying that I won't do that in a different situation, but the club is just like, I don't know. It's hard like I stick out like a sore thumb because I'm pretty sure I exude an energy that's just like, oh, you think you too good for the club? And that's not my sentiment at all. I just don't think that the club is my space. It's not my scene. It's not where I can exist to my fullest potential of self. Yeah, I dance. And then, but I don't really necessarily want to dance with a guy that come up and do shit like this to me. Like, that's not the vibe for me, dog.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? I'm an adult woman.
Yeah.
You're an adult man. Why are you behaving in that way?
Yeah, no, that's gorilla. That's college shit.
It's weird. Like,
That's
I love
dancing.
dancing. I truly enjoy dancing, but I would, at this point, I want to dance with somebody to know how to move. Like, if you can't move with me, like, if we can't get into the same synchronicity, I don't really want to dance with you. I will dance by myself. And then people looking at me like, oh, you're not trying to fucking dance with nobody? Not you. Yeah, not nobody. Just not you.
She ain't trying to get the dagger. You know,
it's not a vibe.
Them island niggas come in the joint.
I take them. You gonna wind and we gonna have it. Cause I'm not a twerker. I'm a winder. Let's wind all night.
Them niggas keep the party going, man. I hate the cool shit in the party. You niggas standing to the side and shit. I'm a two-stepper myself. I come in the joint, you know, I get my 1-2 on. And I just I catch me a little vibe on that tip.
Right.
You know, it's something for everybody. I don't wind. I don't do the dagger no more. Getting wallies and shit in the club. But I do like
I give you a wally. I'm gonna wind you up on that wall.
I don't do that
no problem.
But I definitely like to get my two-step on. You know what I mean? Grab a hand. Keep it decent.
Right.
I think the energy is not here for it in this city. You can go out of town. Like, I like DC. You can go out of town and catch that type of vibe where it's just like everybody chilling, everybody in the mix.
But that's why I love like a R&B only or grits and biscuits because everybody came for that. Right. Everybody came and they'll let you know on the mic. If you ain't here on some cool shit, this not the place for you because we came to get down. Like, that's what it's about.
Some people come to be seen. Some people are on the scene to be seen. Right. Some people are on the scene to socialize and actually go out. So it's just like going out in the city out here. Yeah, you're it's literally on the scene to be seen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not every club, but most. And then you just gotta find your spots, I guess. You can go to a bar. Like certain bars where it's just like it
was one around the corner from Revolutions actually. That's a lit ass bar.
Which one? Is it on Delaware Ave?
It's on Delaware Ave. No, I feel like it's on. It might be. No, I feel like it's on Front Street. I think so. It's on. It's called Saints. Little bar.
It's a dive.
Dive, dog. But when I tell you the DJ's always rocking, the drinks are cheap, the food is good, and the vibe is amazing.
No. This joint I went to is off Girard. Well, it's on Front Street, but it's closer to Girard.
I feel like it might be it. It's on a corner.
It's on a corner. Yes.
It gotta be. I feel like that's it.
And in the back, it's like in the.
It's a little space though, right? But it's everything.
Oh, yeah, it's dope.
It's
the bar is in
dope.
the front as soon as you walk
Yes,
in.
yep,
to the
yep.
left, and then you walk straight back. It's like a little mini stage. And that's where the DJ.
But you can, as soon as you walk in the door, you can see everything because it's really a small place.
It's small.
But the vibe is good.
I've been there. Yeah,
it's good. It's a good spot.
That's just people out in there socializing.
Exactly, but also you gotta think about where you are. Like
Northern Liberties.
Northern. Everybody's just really trying to. They're searching for a good time.
That's all I like to do. But yesterday I legitimately had a good time, and that was just because me and Reach was just floating. Like when we find our zone, it don't really matter what's going on around us. It's just like we in this bitch. We gonna make
that's
it.
It.
You
that's
know what I'm
really
saying?
it. And I think that's why me and Talia used to have a good time anywhere we went because it was we came to the spot in our pocket like y'all can't do shit about this. Like, we been to have a good time.
That is exactly what type of vibe we like. We was in our vibe carried because of course we was on a down because Revolutions was closed. I'm like fuck, like damn, all my plans out the door. So I started texting niggas, look, Revolution's closed. We calling the Audible. So when we called the Audible and shit, and we went around that corner, I'm just like,
but
listen.
Sometimes those little mishaps in the day
to the best
make
night.
The day.
And that's what happened. Like,
it works out that way.
I'm a terrible planner. I'll admit that shit out. Like, don't ask me to plan shit.
I don't enjoy planning.
I hate planning too.
It's not my vibe.
I like to wing it. I like to be
But I'm actually a great planner, the crazy thing.
I'm a terrible planner.
But I hate planning. I would just rather it all just like
I'm very spontaneous.
Happen.
I'm very sporadic with my thoughts sometimes. So it's just like, yo, let's just try shit and see what happens. Where the night takes it, and that's exactly.
But you gotta freak that type of energy though. You really have to have people in your circle that can deal with it.
Of course.
Like that's how that's why me and Talia bang
that's
the
how
way
me
we
and
bang
Khalif
because it's just like, okay.
Like if me and Khalif,
this night, what are we gonna do?
Me and Khalif used to go like 10 bars a night. Sometimes. You know why? Because we'll walk in, no, this joint ain't lit. Next. Oh no, this joint ain't lit either. Next. Go in there and find a vibe. Oh, this joint dying down. Next.
Right.
And it just be, we can go from bar to bar without even having to have that structure. Some people, they playing botch, they just like, fuck, that's my day. I'm gonna just go in the house, call it quits. Nah, bro, I'm out here.
Yeah,
I got another chance.
Yo, I think some of the best nights of my life were just on some half-cocked, I'm just gonna do this type shit. That's it.
Out.
That literally, I remember one night, it was actually me and my ex, and we just bought a TV together. We were like, stupid. We were like, oh, we just bought a TV. Let's go celebrate. Let's go to a bar.
Oh, that was so
but
cute.
That's just what we did. So we actually went to Micro Center, so it was all the way up. So it was nothing really lit happening from Micro Center. Even though it's like not too far from Villanova, but it's a bunch of dive bars.
That's up Lancaster, right?
Yep, yeah. Bunch of dive bars. So we went into this one dive bar thinking they had food. They didn't have food. We like, oh, cool, whatever. We here, whatever. I'm in my work clothes. He in his work clothes because it was like a Wednesday or some shit like that. But it's near Villanova. So we go in the bar. The bartender, I don't know why, took a liking to us, like was really feeling us. So he giving us free drinks and like literally had a ball. And these college kids come in. And one of them, I don't know, I think he's like, his degree was in teaching. And my ex at the time, he was working in the school under this coalition for disadvantaged youth, young black men, and that's what his like specialty was, and that's what he was studying. So they like busted it up, having a good conversation. He comes out of nowhere like, "You want to do some blow?" We're like, "Whoa. That's not the way we're trying to go tonight." But cool, you can do that. Yeah. Come on back, we can still have a good time. But that's not where we go. But it just turned into this. We like took shots of fire. We had it was just a good night. This guy, the guy that came in, the college guy, he just buying us drinks. He's like, I like y'all energy is great. It was probably one of the funnest nights I had. On like a Wednesday night, I literally got home at 9:30, like, oh my God.
We did a lot.
This is a lot, you know, but it was so fun.
That was yesterday.
Right.
I got home last night like, fuck, like what did we just do? But you know what song encapsulates that? You ever heard, you like Miguel?
Yeah.
That song, and I Can't Wait, is on his dog. That's it. Like, you end up in a fucking dive bar, not knowing, you know what I'm saying, where the night gonna take you, but you meet the bartender.
And it's just a good time.
and got in trouble last night and still was a good time. Because I ain't gonna lie, I be in there, I works the room still, but I don't like work the room like meeting chicks and bringing them back. But like I get eyes coming through, like, oh, I see you, and it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So I be, yeah, you know how it's doing me, but I'm here with my girl now. You know, meet my girl. This is my old lady. We don't want to start no trouble tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Shut up.
Bro, I always catch a vibe and shit. So I ain't even caught a case last night. That shit still was like water off the back. Fuck it. We in this motherfucker.
Yo, I swear those are the best nights. Like it really was that night. The night I was saying earlier with me and Talia, and we saw a time there. She'll still call this the night of because I was fucking trash. And Talia lived not too far from Drinkers. So I drive her home somehow, like miraculously. So I'm like, she's like, you're spending the night, right? I was like, So we get it. I'm upstairs laying down. She's like, you gotta throw up. You need trash can. So it became the night of She'll still call that to this day because it was all night long. And then in the morning I woke up and was like, you need to go to work. You're gonna take you to work. And that was just like it. And she was like, It was just a night of But it was one of the funnest nights ever.
Fun,
always.
And that's the nights I be searching for. Like when it's like planned and we doing one thing, it just be like, man, listen, I ain't really in the mood for that.
It really don't
vibe. You know what I'm saying? But I don't find that vibe. Like especially if, like you said, if I don't go out with the right people, that can't really match my energy like that.
Because some people are searching for a different kind of high, and that going out.
Everybody's vibe is different.
Like I find myself often like when I go out, I'm not looking to catch a man. Like that's just not. It's literally almost always at the bottom of my radar. Like finding a man, because I know where I'm going. I know what the move about to be. I know that whatever man I find here is for that night. And if that ends up happening, it ends up happening. But that's not why I'm going out. So if you go out with people that are looking for a man, is on the hunt, like I'll go out
stressful.
Like this. You know what I'm saying? Like this because I'm like, all right, I just want to go out. We're going to have a drink. We're going to get something to eat. Like that's just what it is. And it's so if you don't go out with the right people and y'all all have the same objective in mind, because if I have one objective, my energy is going to seek that. They have a different objective, their energy is going to seek that, and if theirs is more powerful than mine, then I'm not going to get what I want. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's what adds stress to it. People that's trying to do something, like you have an objective in mind. That ain't my, like, I feel like my best nights are when I have no fucking objective. It's just like, yo,
just a free
out here.
Let's just do
Let's
this.
do. But what I also learned that when I went away, like when I was in Philly, I had that Philly energy. I did not know. Was it energy though? I had that Philly energy. I thought like being a nigga in a club that's just talking to every chick that's walking past is not, you know, you just socializing with people and shit. It's literally you just sitting there drinking, and every chick that walk past you try your hand.
Right.
And it's people like that. And sometimes it worked. But I realized when I used to do that shit, I wouldn't get as many chicks. You know when I would get all the chicks? When I was having a ball my damn self.
Right.
And chicks wanted to be a part of that shit. Because if a chick or a person, period, see another person having a good time and they're in that spirit, guess what they gonna do? They gonna join into that shit. They like, fuck that. And guess what? That's where the conversation part. And that's where it's like, oh, you got your friends with you? There go my friends right there.
Let's do
this.
Let
me take you to them. Come on, let's put your group together. And next thing you know, it's another party within a party. Like, that'd be the best fucking night. And that shit used to happen so much to us, yo.
It really does.
That's how that whole, like, when we talk about like 4 or 5s and shit like that, that's how that shit started.
Always.
It literally would be like, yo, we be in there, one of us will meet a chick. And next thing you know, she got a group of friends. It's like, oh, bring your friends, meet my friends. We all friends now. Come on, it's lit. And then that shit be the party. But if I go out with, like, out here with people that always out here, just be like, that ain't they vibe. So just be like, all right, I'll be back.
Some of my funnest nights came from,
I feel like you gave me a lot more than you gave yourself. Though.
I didn't even realize. I think it's, okay, whatever, that's fine.
Paying me back.
Some of my funnest nights. So I'm like an artsy person. Like I do spoken word, all that shit. So I'm in those circles. Some of my funnest nights have came from those circles because they're just a different breed of energy entirely. So you'll just be at. I remember one night I went to this thing. It was called Love Max. It was like it started as, and then just the way they do it, like it's just different. So it started as a like. just a conversation about relationships, past life contracts, like all these different types of things that you don't think about, but it opens your mind. And then it turned into a house party because it was in this. It used to be called the Tree House, I think, but it was like a co-op, so a lot of different people stayed there. But it turned into this house party that was so fucking lit, like so lit, like. I just remember getting home like, oh my God, how did that turn into that kind of thing? But so many nights like in that circle turn into that because you'll be vibing. People will be, so you got people that are doing music or people doing poetry. So everybody will be a cipher at some point. A cipher will bust out and you just in the mix and everybody's indulging in whatever they indulging in and everything is open to everybody.
Absolutely.
And it's just a good time.
Yeah.
Those nights are the best.
Yeah, I miss nights like that. And I don't even get and you don't get nights like that often.
You don't.
So that's why it's more pleasurable because they come a little seldom now. So yeah, that kind of describes my day yesterday. It was just random as fuck, but fun than a motherfucker. I'm definitely gonna float off of that for a minute because I told myself I'm not going out for a while after this. You know what I'm saying? I need to have a fall back and focus on, serious life stuff. So I was just like, all right, I'll take that time and just make the most of it. So I turned that shit up. And now I'm just like, all right, I can just celebrate this shit for like the next 2 months.
That's really how it go though. Like you get this one night that's just so lit and you kind of just ride it. Like my party. So yesterday, we had so much food left. So much liquor. Like I bought so much liquor. Ran it back.
Wow.
Ran it back.
That's some shit my mom
We having breakfast. We had some more fish left over that didn't get cooked. I said, I'm gonna fry some fish. You about to have some fish, some whole fries. You about to have a good time.
I gotta do the grits. You gotta do the cheese.
Dog, I don't know what happened with the grits. I made the grits and they did not. I did everything I was supposed to do and they did not pop. Like they weren't. I had to throw the pot away. They were lumpy. I stirred it as I'm pouring it in.
No.
It just wasn't right.
Listen, the ratio. Understand. If it's
no, but also I don't think I put it. I think I put two. I didn't realize how much grits I had, so it was too much. I'll put milk in it too, like water and milk, so it can be more creamy.
Chicken, bro.
I don't want to do that. I don't think I would enjoy the taste at all.
You add cheese to them?
No, I don't like cheese and grits.
You know what? Do you put sugar in your grits too?
No.
All right, I was about to say. I'm about to judge you. That's why your shits was lumpy.
No, whatever. But that's why I went to home fries. But I'll do grits with shrimp. I like shrimp and grits, but I like fish and home fries. Or the cream sauce? The red. Is it red sauce?
You know that.
I did shrimp etouffee. That's my favorite shrimp and grits.
The French.
It's I was about to say it's simple, but it's not simple because I made it from scratch one time because I had it and it's so good. It's a Creole. It's a Creole recipe.
I know.
It's so good. So that I would prefer that, but I'll take
shrimp etouffee. How you spell etouffee?
ETOUFEE. It's not really hard though. Like if you look it up, the recipe I think the first time I did it though, I made it really hard because I made the seafood broth from scratch as well as making the etouffee from scratch.
Why
so it was a lot.
How do you make seafood broth from scratch? Shrimp shells?
Yeah, do the shells from the shrimp, but also what did I need? I needed onions. No. It was just the shrimp. Shrimp was the only. The shrimp shells. Like onions. Celery. Yeah, all that basic stuff. You just cook it all together because you need that broth to go into the sauce. But the hardest part of it is making the base, the flour and vegetable oil together because that is what roux. You gotta make the roux, but it determines the color of it. So it was just really hard, like watching it the entire time. And the prep time it said, like the recipe I used said like 20 minutes. Dog, that sauce took like an hour and a half, but it was only because I made the seafood broth. Like you can use a vegetable broth. You don't have to. You can use whatever kind of broth you want.
From the store.
Yeah, you can buy it from the store. You don't have to make the broth. I just didn't. I don't think I realized the recipe required me to make the broth until I was already in the process. And I'm like, why am I doing this thing? And I was like, I'm making the broth.
Shrimp etouffee.
It's so good.
I'll try it one day.
It's good. I think you really enjoy it.
But yeah, you gotta work on your grits game. You put syrup on grits.
I do.
What is wrong with you? Like, people do certain shit to me.
Because I never liked grits for a long time, and it's like going 80. But that's only like if I'm eating it
Just have cream
without
of wheat.
like I don't.
Don't say you don't like
cream I love cream of wheat. But I don't like oatmeal. Not my cup of tea. It's the consistency of it. The texture of oatmeal bothers me.
You don't like bananas, so
I don't like bananas.
No, I'm saying it makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, the grits were wrong.
Yeah,
obviously. They weren't right.
That's what you get.
Yeah, they weren't right.
You put milk in it, but you put a splash of milk if you want them a little more creamy. But if you're making them creamy and you're not adding cheese to it, you don't really like. You might as well just use the chicken broth.
I don't.
Because that's the
it's the taste of the chicken broth that's going to bother me. Like the taste of the broth in the grits. I don't want that.
You won't. It's not that represented though.
I feel like it will be. Grits are very basic as fuck.
Yeah.
I think any alteration to the grits themselves, you're going to taste it.
So what the chicken broth does is remove you from having to add so much salt to it because that's your salt component. And then whatever you add to it. So I add a pinch of garlic too.
Okay.
And that kind of takes away like the chicken broth. I use that primarily.
Wait, I hate this recipe. I don't think I would like it at all.
You haven't had my cheddar grits.
I don't want them either.
My shits are amazing.
No, I had cheese grits once that I really enjoyed.
Listen, I know what to do.
Yeah, I don't think I would like them with shrimp. I would like them with fish though.
Fish and grits.
Yeah,
I love fish and grits. That's my shit. That's all
but I like fish and home fries. Like that's my favorite vibe.
Fish and grits is my shit. A little bit of cheese, eggs. You know what I mean?
Cheese eggs.
You don't eat eggs?
I eat eggs. I don't eat cheese eggs.
You don't eat cheese, period?
I don't. I'm very fickle about cheese. I'm just very fickle. I don't even want to go down the list of how fickle I am, but I'm just fickle about it.
Because we were finding out a lot. Bananas, oatmeal, cheese eggs.
I'm very fickle.
Cheese grits. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. People try to turn cheese into this most disgusting thing you could ever eat. Oh,
that's not the case.
No, I'm saying like if you ever hear a vegan talk about it's just pus, it's secretions from the creature, and that shit is delicious.
Cheese is actually really good. Like but it's just I'm just really thick. Like I don't like cold cheese.
Do you eat mayonnaise?
In salads, like in seafood
do you
salad.
eat mayonnaise on your sandwich?
Absolutely not.
You true black.
No.
You're the traditional black that I never really got to fully be. So people be like, you know what I mean? Like you don't put mustard on my fucking sandwich. Like, mustard? What's mustard on a sandwich?
Oh my god, so listen.
Pass the mayo, please.
Don't even do that. And then
please, I like my
mustard
shit
better be spicy. I don't want no yellow ass mustard. No thank you. But that's just my life, you know, that's just that's me.
You lactose intolerant?
No.
Alright, you know that traditional then.
Yeah, I'm not lactose intolerant.
You just find out like traditional black issue. Like I'm lactose intolerant in certain ways.
Every black person is lactose intolerant.
But it's just be like, yo, certain shit I just be like, I don't fit that mold. Am I a little sophisticated here? What's going on?
I'm not about that mayo on sandwich. Like
I put the mayo on the sandwich. If my sandwich don't have mayo, I'm violated. Like I feel some type of. I'm not gonna sit here and choke this shit down. Like I need some fucking lubrication on this sandwich in order to get this bread down. Mustard is not lubricant.
It's not because it got vinegar.
Yeah, that shit burns. Yeah, the acidity of the mustard bothers me, and it takes away from the cold cut because the cold cut already have a tang to it. So the cream actually makes it smooth versus, and you got the cheese there too. But the
I don't have the cheese. I don't.
You
like
don't put cheese
cheese
on your sandwich?
It's cold.
Oh, Jesus.
I told you I'm fickle about cheese. I don't want to get into this. Okay.
So you just like it melted? No, we here now.
Yeah, I like it melted. But for a long time, I wouldn't eat like cheeseburgers and stuff like that or cheesesteaks because the gooiness of the cheese bothered me. Like it was weird. I will eat cold cheese on like a salad.
Like you ever get something with it? Like
I don't know. No, thank you. Pass on that. Hard pass. If somebody has like a secret sauce or some shit like that, I'm like, does it have mayonnaise in it? Or does it have the components that make?
Do you eat potato salad?
Yeah, weird thing. So that's why I said in salads. Like I'm gonna fuck potato salad. I'm gonna fuck a seafood salad up.
Right.
I'm gonna fuck some macaroni and tuna up. But I'm not going to.
If somebody makes macaroni and tuna, I'll slap that shit.
I know why. Why?
Use salmon or something. But just macaroni and tuna feels like a lazy dish.
It is a lazy disposition.
It's like I ain't feel like making shit, but I got some tuna in there. I see some macaroni. Man, we got a dish.
Yep.
That's like I ain't feel like bringing nothing. Now, if you add some salmon to it, a little vegetable or something, or at least an herb to let me feel like you put some effort into that fucking salad.
No, nigga, you
but a tuna and macaroni salad,
or
the person that volunteers to bring it, I'm judging. It's
I'm
like, yo,
not.
what you bringing?
I'm
so
not.
I got the pasta salad. Oh, I'll do potato salad. I'll do macaroni and tuna, bitch. We don't need nobody to do macaroni and tuna.
It's simple.
Please.
It is simple.
Use salmon instead, and I feel at least like you tried.
Ew, I don't think I would like it. You make a chicken salad.
I like chicken salad too.
But yeah. So I'll do that, but don't put it on my sandwich. Don't put it on my cold or hot sandwich because I don't like the idea of it.
Hold on, can we pause for the calls real quick? Do you want a beer?
Let's get a beer. I'll do my Shay song while you go get it.
Yeah, sing a song. Pause for the calls.
What was my song? Let's see, guys. This is the Shay Love Show. It's not the Love Shay Show. This is my favorite show because this is my show. It's the Shay Love Show. So that was shorter than I anticipated it being. But I'm going to fill this space with sound coming from my mouth because I don't want it to be empty. But also, guys, just to note, editing these motherfuckers is difficult for me. Specifically, Ray edits the audio, I edit the video. The video's hard because you can see it. Ray can seamlessly edit the audio because you can't see what's happening. So he can make a smooth transition without you realizing that something was taken out of it, right? I can't do that because you guys can see it. So I'm going to make it so I don't have to do that shit. And Ray is back.
It's quick.
And I'm done. My song did not last.
This is the Shay Love song. I heard you. Go ahead.
I know, but it didn't last. This is the Shay Love Show. It's not the Love Shay Show. This is my favorite show because this is my show. It's the Shay Love Show. It's not the Shay Love Show. It's the Ray Containers podcast, and we agonized over that name for quite some time, guys.
Actually, so this is the dynamic that we don't really explore enough. So it was supposed to just be the Ray and Shay Rants.
Years ago, whatever it was, but it was supposed to be that. I think I made like a joint and everything because we knew we were going to offend so many people because we knew where we could go. Yes. This was years ago. Me and Ray used to hop literally.
Twitter.
And the thing is though, we wouldn't even it would just happen naturally happen. He would be ranting about something. I didn't see his tweets. I'm ranting about the same shit, and then we would come together. And that's just what it was. So we were like, oh, let's do this. I don't know why it didn't happen because life, we
had shit going on. Actually, we talked about it one day when I had a game night in my basement. I don't know if you remember this.
That game night was crazy. It was a good time. I had a good time.
Floor. I get this one. Dance floor.
What's happening? Oh, it's little riddles in here?
Yeah.
Oh, I do get that one. You don't understand that
I don't know that
one.
one.
Let me see.
Healing, love.
Let me see. Head over hills. Head over hills and love, yeah.
Head over hills and love.
Mm-hmm. That's why they had the arrow back on his head, yeah.
Head over hills. Head over heels in love. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. But anyway, so we were supposed to do that.
Yep.
But we here. So Rants and Tangents is birth. But anyway, back to what we was talking about. Good times.
Good times. Good times.
Don't put no motherfucking tuna and macaroni salad on my table if you come to my cookout. That's all I want to get across.
Like, no, but don't your mom make really good seafood salad? Because that's my thing. Yeah. That's what everybody requires me to bring. So I don't know what the fuck else I'm going to bring to you, fam.
My mom is a party animal.
I might bring some, I don't know, handmade burgers, but you do that. So there's nothing I would bring to your cookout. I'll bring liquor. I'm not going to bring food.
If it's outside my family, I'm bringing a bottle. Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
But if it's like, within my family, everybody charge me. I'm on a grill 9 times out of 10.
People require me to make macaroni and cheese at cookouts.
Mac and cheese. You need somebody to do that though. My cousin is my cousin outside my mom. My cousin is a designated macaroni and cheese person. Me and my
for a cookout though.
Yes. My mom,
I didn't understand
my mom is the
it.
potato salad every time. Like, Reese, I do the dips, but Reese do spinach dip.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. But yeah, you gotta have your roll. I can't. Yo, it's almost barbecue season. It's about to be lit. First off.
Yo, I was just talking to my cousin and he got baby fever. He doesn't have a lady. He's about to get somebody pregnant. I said, listen.
He got baby fever?
Yeah, I said, listen, fam, 32. I said, listen, I get it, but it's about to be summertime, okay?
You don't want to...
As a mom, I'm like, God damn it, I have a kid. Like, you don't want to do this, okay? Just chill out.
Man.
You don't even have a lady, dog. Just relax. Summertime changes everything.
Of course. At one time, though, I did have baby fever. To the point that I felt like I'm not going to have a girl until I get somebody pregnant. Like, the first girl I get pregnant, that's what I'm going to make my girl.
Yeah, that's how he was talking. I said, nigga, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
It sounded logical, though, when I was saying it.
And that's how he was talking to me, like, I hear you, but I'm like, there's no buts. I am telling you, I'm pretty sure your homies have told you, dog.
No, don't do it.
This is not
Listen,
the move.
Honestly, though, no, don't do it, fam, if you ever listen to this podcast. But honestly, though, the hard part about having a kid is the time obligation that's required in their early years of life. Mm-hmm. But as they get older, it gets so much more easy.
Yeah.
And when you do get out the fucking house, it's that much more pleasurable. Or you're that much more upset if you get out the house or you get a chance and you don't do shit.
Right.
But when you get your chances to go out and it hits, like it's lit, it's like, nigga, I had the time of my life.
I can coast off this for quite some time.
This parenting thing is a breeze. This about to be a breeze. So you appreciate it more because now you just go out whenever, like, ain't nothing to do. But then you hitting all your homies up. They're like, y'all got the kids. Y'all got the kids. You're like, nigga, with that, nigga. But then it's just be like, oh, like, I get it now.
But then you fully understand.
I get it now.
That's where you are.
Yeah, I'm wrapping it up, though. I'm putting I ain't having no more kids. Like, if it didn't happen within the next year, I'm done. I'm out of the game. I think I'm gonna get the schnibbity.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think I'm getting the schnibbity. That's because I might have a higher shooting percentage than I think. So I don't want to slip one past the goalie or some shit, and you know, next thing I know, I'm 38 with an infant, and it's just like, not today. No. I ain't losing no sleep. Yo, I'm ready to pull that hair again, yo. I just was looking at that joke.
Don't do it.
I'm ready to pull that hair again.
Don't do it.
But yeah, man, I just don't want to deal with those sleepless nights. That shit is for the birds. Kids are a wonderful thing, though. So.
Yeah. They
All
are.
right, we just talked for what, like 40 minutes?
I don't know,
and didn't touch one of our topics.
Right,
and so much
it's
has
been
happened.
an hour, dog.
Are you serious?
We are an hour.
All right,
in.
so much has happened, so we probably have to breeze through these Jones. We already talked about the weekend, so we did hit our first topic.
We did.
But do you want to talk about what happened in New Zealand? You want to start there?
Yeah, these are synonymous. Yeah.
There you go. What happened?
I actually don't know. You do.
All right.
I breezed over it.
So
quickly.
Vanilla Ice strikes again. Now.
You Vanilla Ice.
Now it's happening in New Zealand.
Title.
Vanilla Ice strikes again. But now it's happening in New Zealand. So there was a shooting at a mosque. 50 people, I think 49, 50 people passed, were killed. I think another 20 were injured. Just another episode of these white niggas is just wilding out. And, so they banned assault rifles already in New Zealand. That's not going to do anything. And the news, the main news, everybody been...
That was quick.
Huh?
That was quick.
Yeah, but these things happen. Or these things happening are just reminders that the threat that we pose or that they presented to us as the imminent threat is not the real threat. But
it's not even crazy. It's a part of the game. I'm not hating the players. I'm gonna hate the game. Well, in this case, you can hate the players because they definitely knew what the game was and said, and they knew the evil in it, but they still subscribed. So you can hate the player here. Like, it's different levels of evil. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Paying for your kid to go to college, that's,
we can deal with that.
killing 50 people, that's a different ball
Yeah,
game. It's not permissible.
It's levels.
It's levels. But then, that's a whole nother conversation. But this isn't new. This isn't this new uprising of Vanilla ISIS. Vanilla ISIS has been the threat since the beginning
Of this country.
Since the beginning of this country. This country.
Or just period.
I'm going to, not even just this country. It's just period. Like,
since
when you
technology evolved and they got ships and steel.
And because when we say technology, we don't mean wires and internet. We mean basic shit.
Guns, Germs, and Steel is a book that I'm going to go back and revisit and try to read again so I can really bring that information. But it's basically, in summation, describing how the imperialism has pretty much changed the world. How it affected the world. Mm-hmm. And how it still plays out today. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, it's not anything new. Is it the same? Colonialism? Imperialism?
Is it?
I don't know. But yeah.
Like, maybe not. But
Miss Merle be mad.
I know, sorry, Miss Merle. But it's not new. It's not new but it's still not going to be presented the way that it should, right?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be this smoke and mirrors game that's been this smoke and mirrors game.
Right.
Because I don't know. Like, I don't know. White men are like the face of the universe, I guess. They don't want them to look bad or some weird shit.
So that's what Trump does, right? Or that's how the leaders kind of brush it off as if the radicalized supremacists, whatever they want to call it, the radicalized white men that have bought into the propaganda of, whatever their mission is, I feel like they're trying to start a race war. I feel like the battle... Do you want to know why? They didn't want to start a race war? Why? Because of the fear of the black man's genitalia. Like, I am a firm believer in this shit. I just feel like they just feel like, oh, the black man has something I don't. You think it's a dick thing? Everything is a dick measuring contest, dog. It is. Like, it's just fucking sausage for. And they just want it, like, it's just a dick measuring contest. That's all it is. And the black man. You like my proposal? I do. So the black man, all his infinite wisdom is like, my dick's still gonna be big at the end of all this. I don't even need to fight you over, right? It's not even a discussion. It's not even a discussion. My dick's still gonna be the size it is. I don't understand why you're so upset. The reputation's still gonna carry. Right? The reputation's still gonna carry. Because nobody wants us to beast fuck their women. Because they know, like, it's with the rhythm and it ain't just a dick size thing. It's a literal, just vibe thing. It's an experience. It is itself. A fear. But I'm not going fully. So that's the shade stuff. It could be a dick measuring contest. I think the system that has been put in place, actually, the supremacists are looking at it like it's at risk of being compromised and overthrown. Because the very system that's benefited them is now benefiting others, and they want to maintain that. And let me talk specifically to New Zealand. Is so because and that's why it's just propaganda that people fed into, and whatever they use that because on his rifles, he wrote the names of other terrorists because that's what they are. That carry out attacks throughout over time. Facts. So this nigga wrote all these so obviously he's been radicalized in a whole nother way. And I don't even know if this is a race thing because what he said was he's bought into the idea that Muslims are the greatest threat to, I guess, white people because he lived in New Zealand. I don't know what terroristic threats or watch they were under in New Zealand. But either way, it's a hate crime. So what I want to get a better understanding of is what is the end goal here? Because it has to be a war that you want to start. It could be a dick measuring contest, but the war isn't the end goal. Because I think the greatest threat to white supremacy is not a war, not us fighting against them, but us uniting, right? Right. Like white supremacy can't survive in an
But
integrated world.
That
in an equitable world
is.
It's not supremacy no more. You're just white now.
Right. But that's what's actually. That's the bigger picture, right? Uniting that is the biggest threat. So that's why everything occurs the way that it occurs. Let's keep them separated. Let's,
put them against each other.
Minor shit, micro shit, light skin versus dark skin. It's still a fucking thing to this day. Like all these little things. The Chinese man that owns a store on the corner of your block hates you. You hate him, but you still shop from him. He still puts his store in your neighborhood. These things.
I don't feel like we hate them though. I think we hate out of spite.
Yeah, no, we hate out of spite. We hate out of spite. I think that black people literally was about to say. I think black people literally, but that is the fear though. The fact that we are just so. We're just warm naturally, like the sun makes us happy, and
like the proverbial cookout is real. Like you can come.
It's real. Come to the cookout. It's a real thing.
Like just don't be on your bullshit.
Because if you're on your bullshit, you're getting kicked out of the cookout. We're always a reactionary people. We're not an aggressive. We're reactionary.
But that's the fear, right? Because then us realizing our power when we are reactionary. That's why it's so quick with squashing that shit.
Yeah, like let's blow up a city block full of innocent people.
The Black Panther Party can't exist. I'd be damned. The only organization that has existed that, preach, that preach black enrichment is honestly FOI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're kind of written off as a radical sect.
Right.
Where they're just a religious group. But they're written off as if they're just some radicalized group of people.
Oh my God!
And they've never done anything
watching,
wrong.
And they were actually talking about
them niggas is gangster though.
Right, they're gangster, but they were talking about the FOI.
My grandfather was a FOI nigga.
Oh, actually, the Sam Cooke documentary, and they were talking about them, but they were talking about like we just went to them because of the enrichment that they were trying to feed into the black community.
He used to be around Muhammad Ali, all them niggas.
And that was, but they went to them for that reason. But we're back to the fucking.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're such a.
Be all over the place.
We're all over the place, but it does that to you. But we're such a.
But you don't hear people carrying out hate. Excuse me. I gotta take all that shit back. I did. I do. I can't even talk about it on this podcast. But it was against. It's internal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's that internal strike that we can't get through.
Right.
It's like we do it to each other to where as though a supremacist won't really look at us like they gotta launch an attack against us. What they'd rather do is go to a common space or a religious space where it's kind of like there is no real threat of retaliation. It's more of a, like the church is a sanctuary. The mosque is a sanctuary. But
I also think that nobody's in the minds of white people, there's always a threat of retaliation. From the moment that slavery ended and black people didn't do anything, you know what I mean? We just said, give us our space, give us our fucking land, let us be. And they said, no, you can't be like that, because they had this idea that we have the same thought processes, we have the same mind that they do.
That's why they pushed religion on us the way they did.
I'm telling you, the sun is a powerful thing. Like, it was this theory that the sun. There's a theory that white people came from a different part of the world that was void of the sun. So, like Seattle, right?
Cavemen.
Right. Not even cavemen. It's just it was gloomy. It was dark. The sun didn't come to them.
Right. I'm trying to think, like Iceland?
No, it was before all that. Before all of that.
So before the tectonic plates broke up and we got
all
the
that.
continents
Before
as we know them
that,
today.
right? This someplace that was much further from the equator. Mm-hmm. So, but black people have always had, we can welcome the sun. Our skin naturally embraces the sun.
Because we're the first people.
Right.
We're the original
We're
people.
the first, and that is a fact. We're not bullshitting you with just because we happy we black.
Yeah, even white people understand that.
You can look it up.
That are aware. That's just
you can look it up.
That's just
we're
history.
The first people. Like we're not.
And we're beautiful.
We're beautiful. We're beautiful, but we can walk in the sun. And literally, I've literally had days where I'm in the house and I'm just like, fuck the world, fuck everything, right? I step outside in the sun, like just seeing the sun, feeling the sun, just the brightness of it. It'll shift your energy a little bit, right? White people literally can't do that. Like they can't be in the sun too long because they potentially could get skin cancer.
Vampires.
Like it's a fact, right? No shade, but that's just what it is, right?
We can vampires.
Right, no shade, but that's a fact. And the absence of the sun in their lives so early on this is just a theory, guys. Something I heard somewhere along the way of my journey to understand life.
You've been watching Hidden Colors. Right,
it wasn't on Hidden Colors, though. It wasn't. That's not where I got it from. But yeah, I watch Hidden Colors. So that being absent of the sun, being void of the sun, created this energy that caused white people to go out into the world the way that they did and just kind of ransack everything and like just carry this absence of joy with them wherever they went and just try to fuck stuff up because it's like, oh, you're happy? Bizarre. I don't know what that's like. I want to take you down because I don't want you to be happy because I'm not happy.
Or them going into villages. Till this day. Going into villages. Prime example. Like the nigga that got hit with 100 arrows. The Bible boy that tried to go ahead and take his missionary shit. Like, listen, fam. They don't need your salvation. They are happy. I'm fine living in motherfucking bushes, homie.
They are fine. Like, and the only times like I've ever heard some, because these people are like, that incident was not the first. No. You understand? Like that's what they do. This is their territory.
We happy.
By law, they're able to do this shit. This is how they live their lives. They're a protected people.
Right. We got our sovereignty. We good.
Right. Let them be.
Leave us alone.
There's no reason. But the only times they engaged in these violent acts that the world saw was when the motherfucker came and said, "I'm going to infiltrate this. You can't just live your life like this."
Well, that's what they first did, right? Before they ran the land, they brought them a Bible, and they with a promise of making life better for them. Mm-hmm. And then they came behind them with guns and shit. And like, you know what? I think this is a nice place to set up shop here. Let me just plant my flag here. Boom, this is my land. I know people used to live here, but because at the end of the day, even New Zealand, for example,
right?
I think if I remember, because I got like a little information on like the Aboriginal people, mm-hmm. like being in Australia and New Zealand and all that shit, right. And kind of being killed off basically and kind of confined to smaller areas. But anyway,
people being everywhere.
And then the Dutch kind of came and settled. Was it the Dutch or the British came through and settled, and whatever the case may be. But either way, the board said he carried out this attack because of something behind immigration, like them basically infiltrating their land and shit like that. But furthermore, it's just like at one time y'all were the same here. We're all immigrants. Like nobody is from this land.
Don't even get me started.
So how are we claiming this shit as our own? Like we are the original people here, and then we're trying to protect it from outsiders. Bitch, we are the fucking
outsiders, dog. We literally pillaged this motherfucker.
So
we didn't. We came over after it was done. But
can I continue? On a furthermore to that? We talk about when these things happen, right? Gun laws, right? Mm-hmm. Banning assault rifles and shit like that. Cool. It was illegal at one time for the greatest technology of guns that they had at the time to not own it. It was illegal to not have a gun at one time. You know why? Because you needed a gun in order to wage war against the indigenous population to get them out of their lands. Because the war was at full-fledged with the Indian people. So as we were still in this land, we had to fight a war. So if you coming over on a ship and we just brought you here and you want to be a member of this country, it's mandatory that you own a rifle. If not, we're going to fine you. Therefore, there's a fine. You got to read this book too. It's called You know, I be mentioning books and I be forgetting the title sometimes. But
Dude, get on my nerves.
it's basically surrounding the gun laws and how they evolve.
I feel like you said this before and you probably said the title.
But yeah, either way, I was reading about it, but just how the gun laws evolved and how it's something with the Fifth Amendment in it.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, how guns played a role in this country.
Right.
And it took a deep dive into the history and how this shit was established. So yes.
I think the gun laws are outdated still.
Well, either way, I look at the gun laws as simple. You can ban assault rifles all you want to. The issue isn't the guns. It's always going to be the people.
Right.
And you can't guarantee the safety of the people. No government. That's a whole nother country. That's New Zealand. They can do what they want to do. But the government has failed to protect the people. And that's just a fact.
Right.
So you can blame an individual. Like you can say, look at this act by this one person. And, it's because of the gun laws being loose and he was able to buy those rifles. What I say is a criminal is always going to be a criminal, meaning there's a will, there's a way. They live not within the rules of the system, outside the rules.
Right.
The very act that he committed was breaking the rules.
Right.
So what makes you think you wouldn't break a rule to get the
own
firearms
things
in order
and
to carry it out?
Right.
So it doesn't really make sense. And furthermore to that, what do I have not to just, one, protect myself from criminals, but to protect myself from a government that might conspire to, run, martial law in this motherfucker. And if I want to protect my family from that, not listen, with military technology, listen, if the military come up and pointing guns down at me, nigga, we ain't got nothing to contend with missiles. Right. But at the same time, keep in mind that, the government hasn't put us in a position where as though we feel secure and protected when you walking into a public space. Like, I get anxiety when I'm at concerts. I get anxiety when I'm at basketball games and football games. Because it's in an open area, and I'm looking at security like it's lax and it's a lick.
Smaller part of government. So, I was in this store one day. And these little boys, it was an Asian-owned store. These little boys came in. Apparently, they stole something from their store before. So, they had pictures of the boys. And they stole, penile enhancement drugs. So they just did it to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was kids.
Boys and B-boys.
So, I guess it was the store owner and his wife. His wife recognized the boys and said, that's them. I'm like, at this point, I, paid for my shit already. So, the store owner, the boys are trying to leave, and he's like, you can't leave. And he shoves one of the boys. No reason, in my opinion. So many things were weird about this situation to me. There are other black women with their children, other mothers. Mickey was in the car waiting for me. Other mothers there. And in my mind, this child became my child in this moment. Mm-hmm. There was no reason for you to push this little boy. I understand they're trying to get out. But they're literally little boys. Couldn't have been any more than 11 years old. I understand they did something wrong. They already called the police. But you're literally at one point, the store owner had one of these boys in a chokehold, and I'm aggressively trying to get him off of this boy, and one of the other black women is like, sis, leave it alone. Fuck you mean? It takes a village. His mom or dad isn't here. This is my son right now. Somebody can't walk away.
Right.
So the cops eventually get there. It took 5 minutes. It was the longest 5 minutes of my life because I was just like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening right now? It was such a back and forth. So I'm trying not to argue with this store owner, but I'm like, sir, you have to understand that these are children. This could have turned into a very ugly situation.
You know why he don't look at them like they're children? Because they're not his children. They don't look like him. Right, but in that same moment, they were mine. I understand they don't look like, but they're fucking kids. A kid is a universal thing. Listen, I don't even understand what the fuck you're talking about. But they don't have any, you know what? I gotta keep that same energy. I was about to ride your coattail.
Yeah, but no, and I know I can, because we're about to talk about something that'll probably shift that energy. But so, the cops get there. I'm still with these boys. They called the mom. The cops look at me like, are you their mother? I'm like, no. They're like, well, you can leave there with cops. So said, I'm not leaving these boys until their mother gets here. Like, I am not leaving these boys. You said, but we're cops. This is what we do. We protect people. It's like 5 cops, 2 little boys, under 11 years old, 5 or 6 fucking cops. Literally, right, like 7 cop cars pulled up and then eventually started to pull off when they realized it was 2 little boys.
Right.
I'm scared as shit for these boys. Like, that's just where I'm fucking terrified. Yeah, I'm not leaving these boys until I see their mom walk in this bitch. So one cop's like, you can leave. We're cops. Like, that's our job to make sure everything's fine. I said, all right, but I'm not leaving.
Right.
And another cop said, oh, you're not leaving because we're cops. I said, pretty much. Like, I can't leave. Like, I can't. They literally, like, there was an umbilical cord attaching me and them at one point. That's how I feel in this moment. Right. And he was like, I was like, yeah. He was like, I mean, no, yeah, you can be honest. I was like, I am being honest. Like, I'm fucking scared for them because I don't know where your intentions are. I don't know if there's anybody else in this moment that gives a fuck about these little boys outside of me. It was black women in this store like, sis, leave it alone. Fuck you mean? Like, these are little boys. They did something wrong. But did that equate to this store owner putting one of them in a fucking chokehold? No. Absolutely not. I don't remember why I said that. Oh, government. Like, government just coming in and raiding your shit. But in that moment, like, cops are like a small version of it. But it was like, no, I can't. I cannot leave these boys. But also,
to build upon that, it's just like, we can't get that detached from, being human. Yes, they did something wrong. But at the same time, they still require a sense of compassion for the fact that they are young boys.
And just because they stole penile enhancement drugs, they're little fucking boys.
We're not talking about, and then we talking about involving them in the system, and involving police. There's a bigger issue at hand. This is bigger trauma. Now, we can correct their behavior, but you did the right thing by not leaving. Did their mom ever come?
She came, and that's when I left. I only left when she came, but then...
What happened when she came? Was she just as ignorant?
So fucking ignorant, Ray.
That's why I felt like he's that same energy.
I was so upset, dog. Yeah. I said, oh my God, not you. Damn. You're not the mom. Can't be you, dog.
But that explains them, right? It's just like, this ignorance and being poor mentally is generational. And I be wanting to have hope for these kids, and I be wanting to have hope. But listen, I go to my neighborhood Chinese store. I just wanted to go buy some chips because I ran out of chips at the house. If you know, I have an addiction.
I know. Mm-hmm.
So I had to go get my fix or whatever. So I'm in there buying my chips, and these little fucking girls are cursing at this Chinese lady behind her so bad. And I'm just like, yo, like, who the fuck raised you? Like, what makes you think you can just talk to somebody like that? And she's making your food.
Stupid.
Why are you talking to her like she's getting you ice cream, you dumb fuck? And, like, part of me like, yo, I want to intervene, but it's just like, if you're this ignorant and then you turn that ignorance on me, my response won't be as good. And I'm going to need to meet your parent because I'm not going to fuck you. I want to fuck your parent up for raising you.
Right.
Like,
now, I didn't even have an exchange with this mom.
Yeah.
I literally saw her there and I said, cool, because my baby's waiting in the car for me. Like, we had food waiting. Like, we were ready to go home and eat. Mickey was low-key pissed at me because it took me so long. But I could not
You did the right
leave
thing,
these
but you be
children.
wanting to have compassion for these children, and I be having that too. Like, I feel that way, and I feel it, but it just saddens me. When I look at the parent and I'm like, yo, I had
when
no
this
hope.
woman walks up and
no
she
hope
like,
for you.
what happened?
Like,
God.
Like, so it just be like, if the kid, even if the kid is halfway good and the parent is just that ignorant, it just be like, all right, we on a hell of a tangent. I love, but I hate that we go this far off. But, for our people, like, this is an internal conversation. For our people, like, when we want to evolve and elevate the level of consciousness within our community, just know when we talking, like me and you having this conversation, it's like we talking to ourselves. Mm-hmm. Because it's just like, you don't have to give me this message, Shay. You know I'm there already.
Right.
But
I swear, I was talking to somebody.
You
You have to. I was talking to one of my friends who's like-minded, like has that same, like we'll have these conversations. It's literally like just, I'm on a soundboard, dog. This is just me saying this shit to myself repeatedly. So he was like, the only people that want the keys are people that have the keys. And that's it. Like, I'm trying to give you keys, and you're like, listen, I don't want this shit.
You know how many conversations I get into, Shay, where it's just like, you ain't there, is you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally, legitimately had a conversation about a $5 situation with somebody. And I said to him, I don't have $5 problems. Like, I see where you probably be mad.
Right.
Like, just trying to be, like, there with you. But essentially, dog, I'm not a $5 nigga.
Right.
Like, we're not going to have this $5 issue. And I advise you to stop dealing with $5 niggas.
Right.
Like, you can't let somebody rub you the wrong way over $5. It can't get you upset.
Shit like that, though.
And
I
niggas,
think about
and
the
niggas,
Bronx
and niggas,
though.
and niggas. Oh my God.
Yeah, nigga, that's where it comes from.
So
you pay $20 to get that motherfucker
out
out of your life. That's it.
Be thankful.
Be thankful.
Leave it alone. That when Sonny told Kadoja though, that shit changed my life. And my
I got so many things from the Bronx tell it's not even funny, dog.
Me too. But when exactly, so it was just like, yo, like I know because niggas what niggas will do is disguise it. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, it ain't the money.
It's the principle.
Fam, listen.
No, it's not.
Ass. Put this in perspective. It's the principle, right? You do something to this person, or he does something to you. That principle gonna go out the window whenever consequences come back around for whatever y'all decide to do to each other. Right. It's gonna be like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Boy did it. It was some nut ass shit, but that shit was only over $5. I would rather. So honestly, we're not gonna have this conversation over that. But it was just like the person understood. Like, he understood what I said because it was just like I was trying to entertain the conversation. But then it just got to the point where, fam, I ain't no $5 nigga. We not going to even have this conversation. Like, we're not going to be mad. Maybe you should stop dealing with niggas that think like that. Right. Because there are I said, there are millionaires that lose millions of dollars every day and go home and sleep to their family. Now, you looking at it like must be nice. I'm looking at it like if they can get over that shit, you should be able to get over this. But that's the thing. But I don't think because money come and go no matter how much money you is, how much money it is. Yep. It comes and it goes. So, and that was the reason why I could never really commit to being in the streets with niggas because I don't like dealing with niggas. I keep my interaction with niggas, and I mean niggas in an ignorant sense, in a literal and ignorant sense, like niggas that are just that at that level of niggatry, that are just super, you know. Don't care about life, don't have certain values in place, don't have principles in place. Like, a dude will burn you for $10, $15 and feel like he got out on you. Right. And it's just like, dog, you didn't get out on me. I'm just not willing to compromise my life or compromise your life for fucking $15. Right.
But people can't think in those.
But people don't think that far. So it's just like, yo, if you don't think that far, me and you need not have conversation. Right. We don't need to even be in contact.
But that's a part of it though. Like, it takes time to get to that place. It takes pain to get to that place. It takes, like, and you don't even realize, I have a couple friends that's going through their growth process, and it hurts. Like, that shit is emotionally painful because you realize how many people, how many things you gotta let go in the process because they're not good for you. And this growth, the story of your growth can't include them, right? Absolutely. Maybe the beginning, but they damn sure can't be at the end. Absolutely. And it's painful, and people, they understand that part, right? So like, I'm not willing to go through this. I'm not willing to let go of this person for my own sanity, because that's ultimately what it is. It offers you a clarity that is like, it's unreal. Like, it's unreal.
That's what 30 has done for me. Like, I had a period of extreme anxiety that I didn't even realize I was going through. And I'm looking at that period now in retrospect as an evolutionary period. Yep. Because it was just like, when I emerged out of that, the perspective I gained, I was okay and had closure on so much shit. Yep. And even like me putting like, only reason I write blogs, to be honest, is because I just want uninterrupted opinions.
Yep.
I want to get my shit out without interference. You do with it what you want. I don't give a fuck if you don't even read it. Because most people not prepared for the conversations that I'm, you know what I mean? And it's not that I'm on some higher level of knowledge. It's just
because
that
it's not. Because once you
not
get
there.
to this point of opening your mind, you realize, I am but a speck
All this shit
in
is,
the grand scheme of shit.
Oh my God.
You're a speck.
That was my whole shit about, and it was just like, yo, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter. All this little all these little small problems we have don't really matter. I just feel free. I feel free from the like, we not fighting the same fight.
Right.
That's what I said. We not fighting the same fight, fam. Like, I
nothing
get it.
hurts anymore. I put my hand on the stove, okay?
And nothing hurts anymore. But it just be like, it'd be like, I guess I get this kind of peg that, you know, don't talk to Ray about it. Like, you're not gonna give a fuck. But I don't, it's not that I don't
but
give a
it's
fuck.
certain,
I just pick and choose. You know what I mean? I pick and choose what to give my energy to and what to put my heart into.
And then I have the peg of don't talk to Shay about it because she's going to be brutally honest. And literally, my cousin gave a speech at my graduation joint. It was like, only go to Shay if you want the unadulterated truth. She is brutally honest all the time. Right. But it's all I can offer you.
But ain't it hard to not be sometimes?
It really is.
Because you want to, I will grant you an audience. I will allow you to rant. But then it just be like, well, look, fam, I don't really agree with you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. It's just getting to this point, and it's not that I got shit figured out. It's just that I don't got time for dumb shit. Like, I just don't got time for ancillary shit. Because
once you get on this journey, right, you reach a certain point of it, you're like, yo, I know it's more. I have to get to the more of it all. Like, yes. I can't stay here. Because this is, at this point, now that I know that, like, just breaking away at the layers of myself, because that's all it is. That's all you're doing. You're breaking away at the layers of yourself, right?
Always evolving.
That's it. I'm shedding my skin. I am a crab or a lobster or whatever, or a snake or anything that sheds its skin. I am growing.
We gotta
right. I'm growing bigger than the skin that I am currently in. I have to let it go for me to grow. Otherwise,
that's called getting your wings, becoming a butterfly.
That's it. That's it.
We just want to soar. We just want to float.
Metamorphosis.
You just want to be happy, and you want to exist in those spaces. No, that don't mean if you're happy that you're happy all the time. That just means your general disposition is you're in a positive space.
Yep.
That's that namaste but fuck you shit. So wherever we go, we are always looking for the peaceful path. But at the end of the day, it's still like, I'm like, fuck you, dog. Like, we don't have to be, I'm not mad at you. I'm at peace with whatever you throw my way. You know what I mean? And that fight for happiness, you know, and where...
Because it's a battle.
And you're not even existing. It's not meaning that people are bad or you looking at everybody like they're negative. Everybody's not negative. A lot of people are positive, or a lot of people don't really recognize their light, and you try to bring that to them. Right. So it's just like, yo, I'm going to keep shedding light on you. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, all right, you're dealing with this issues. We all deal with issues. It's like, all right, cool. Let's talk about it. Let's get through it so that we can emerge on the other side. So This is solution-based conversation. We're going to talk about this problem for so long, we're not getting nothing done. We're not being productive.
That's the hook right there, Ray. Solution-based conversation.
It's like, let's talk about the problem so we can figure out a solution.
I'm not talking about the problem to dwell on the goddamn problem, though. I'm just not going to do it.
And I'm very solution-based. It just be like, damn, yeah, yo, that's crazy. Why would you do that nut shit? Yeah. You need to stop fucking with that nigga.
What?
That wasn't
that wasn't what I thought. That's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted you to tell me to just rock out.
Yeah, and you can't change people. If people ain't willing to change, and there are people that are hella resistant to change because they like who they are. And it's just like, if you like who you are, you want to exist in that space. Controversy might just be a big part of your life, and it might make it more exciting. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
That might be a thing.
That's the part about growth that's so uncomfortable, right? You don't realize how you're not happy with it, but you're comfortable, right? In your misery sometimes. You're comfortable in these ugly spaces because it's the only space you've known for so long. You're like, it hurts so bad, but I'm terrified of the fact that it could potentially hurt worse. So I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to exist in this space because I don't want to really know what anything else is like, because I'm so caught up in this negativity. I feel like that's all that's going to beseech me. That's all that's going to come to me. And that's why people kind of exist there, and they don't want to venture out to find out that, you know what? If you shed that skin, there's a possibility you might grow, right?
Absolutely. That means you grow.
Right.
Right? I get it, man. I'm with you. You already know.
Perspective is a motherfucker,
It
dog.
is, but that shit is like a gift and a curse. Because it's not that... See, I just don't subscribe to the surface level shit. Like, I don't really... Like, if you tell me the story, I can't help but to look at the underlying shit that's behind it. So it's like...
That's all I do.
It's like, you know, like I had a strong conversation with my little cousin. I'm glad we did, because he didn't understand a lot of the elements of how I operate. And this is like my nigga. Like he was the first one that was my young boy. Like, cause I'm the baby in the family, but he's like under me.
Right.
So just like he was my young boy, and we had a very, you know, a good conversation. It's funny because his little cousin came too, and he's gaining this perspective now at 21. I didn't have this perspective at 21. This is an adult perspective, right? But when he walked into the room, he was like, yo, I was trying to tell this nigga that. And it's just like, your little cousin is trying to tell you this shit, nigga. I'm your big cousin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's just like, you know, where it's just like, bruh, like, you know it ain't no frills with me. Like, I'm not shady.
Right.
Like, I don't throw shade, because if I have a problem with you, you gonna know it. And it's just that. So it was just like, nigga, you take too much shit personal. And you need to understand that everything ain't about you. And once you understand that, like, it was kind of like a play on with the four agreements tell us. But it was just like, you know, once you understand that, you'll understand life a lot better.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, you know, we kind of got the air out, whatever, you know, whatever issues he had, whatever. But it all arrived back to that thing. It's like, dog, ain't none of that shit was about you. Ain't none of that shit got nothing to do with you. It's just, this is where I'm at. And this is where you are.
Right.
And you need to work on that, and I need to work on this. And then when we can come together, we're going to come together. And it's always going to be the same with me. I'm Mr. Same Energy. When I walk into that room, I'm going to give you the same energy. And that's why I be like, a person, you would know if I don't like you. Like, you would know. It's rare that I don't like people. But at the same time, you would know if I don't like you, because I keep same energy all the time. Like, when you see me, yo, what's up? Because I don't come out when I'm in a bad mood. If I'm not in my right space, like energy-wise, I don't socialize. And I do that to keep this...
And people like me like, Shay, and let's just be like, listen, it's not about you in this moment.
Nothing to do with you.
I gotta correct, my frequency is not where it needs to be. I have to fix my shit.
Right.
And if I come out and I pull all these other things into my already off-kilter moment, I'm not going to get back on kilter.
Right.
At all.
If I notice somebody off kilter, I just ignore them. Like, yo, all right, you be back. Because it's like, I ain't do shit to you. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? This is like, I ain't do shit to you today. But certain people can't. Hold on. Off on a hell of a tangent.
Super hell of a tangent, right? And it's literally
sorry.
almost 2 hours
we were supposed to be talking about New Zealand. All right, we at hour 42. All right, let's get back to it. All right, so how do we feel about New Zealand? Let's just get back to it. Because I feel like this is a rant that's just gonna go.
It's good. Right, we
can go for hours on this.
So, but New Zealand,
Not
new.
It's not new at all.
That's literally how it's not new. And the fact that we keep acting like these are these new ass situations and this is an anomaly, it's not. It's the fucking standard at this point. So
the greatest terrorists in the world now, because this is a global issue, are Vanilla ISIS. We can, in summation, for me, if we have to look closer at certain groups, it needs to be the white supremacists, or I don't know what the tag to put on them is. And as far as our government goes, our
like, have we ever fucking bombed the KKK? Y'all bombed city blocks,
y'all.
Y'all took shit out.
Y'all shut down the Black Panther Party before it really got to fully emerge. Y'all was out killing niggas before it even took any ground.
As a reactionary, and the Black Panthers were reactionary, dog.
Exactly.
To shit that y'all never touched.
Y'all. So, can we treat not even the KKK, but the neo-Nazis,
same
the
energy.
KKK, all of them with the same energy that we gave the Black Panther group? Could we? Cool.
Energies must be kept here.
Yes. Our president's super apologetic, but we know that's his base. I get what y'all issue is with that. It's not surprising. He knows that those people, the people that are part of those groups, are the ones that supported him the most to get his presidency, because that's the bitter people that he knows to cater to. And the fact that
he specifically spoke to them.
In spite of him being a billionaire and one of the people that have put them out of work first, like he'd be the first one to put them out of work if it benefits his business. But whatever the case may be, we know our president is going to be a sympathist because he knew how to cater to that landscape. Like, he knows his basis from that background.
To a degree, but he had people in his pocket that knew the landscape, but he knew to go to them. Like, he don't, that nigga ain't the brightest.
So at the end of the day, if y'all want to say he's not a white nationalist, you better think again. Like, he might not be directly associated with those groups, but indirectly, he's a puppet master for those groups. So, yeah, that was my 2 takes on that. But I wanted to tell you about this documentary I watched for Donald Trump. Shit is kind of good. Because it goes into his family history.
Where'd you watch it?
It's on the biography channel, but it's on A&E too.
Okay.
But just watch it. It's a 3-part series. It starts with his grandfather.
I feel like we already discussed last week how fucking over documentaries I am.
We gotta watch them though. They are so informative. All right, I'm sorry. So I'll just like touch on it a little bit. So it starts with his grandfather. How his grandfather.
I'm all about good documentaries.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a very interesting person. Like, hate him all you want to. Donald Trump, you will understand a lot about him, more about him if you watch this documentary. How detached he is, how his emotional, like, erratic behavior is. Like, you can see how, cold he is toward people and calloused he is, or he seems to a lot of shit. But anyway, his grandfather. The way the Trump family amassed their wealth first was his grandfather, during the gold rush, built a hotel along the road that goes up to it, /whorehouse. And
whorehouses make money.
Pussy been getting money for the. I'm telling you now, I'm not advocating prostitution, ladies.
I'm not either. What I am advocating.
All I'm saying is, pussy is $1 billion industry.
Listen, what I am advocating is women need to start understanding what the fuck they are sitting on. Like, the minute we can understand that there is a gold mine between our thighs
at all times.
You understand?
That's number one.
Just come on, ladies.
You know
Get with it.
Or what Dave Chappelle said. He said he had $25,000 in his bag, and he said he had to catch the train to Brooklyn, knowing he had $25,000 in a book bag, and anybody would have killed him if they knew what was in that book bag. He said for the first time he knew what it felt like to be a woman.
Yep.
That is the best explanation for what y'all have between your legs. But need not explain further. But anyway, back to the Don. So his grandfather built hotels along the roads that dudes would travel to get to the gold mines and shit back when. And this nigga, when they went upstream, floated his hotel upstream. But this is not the half of it. When they were traveling like up the mountains to get it, horses would die along the trail for whatever reason, right? Mm-hmm. So guys would have to stop and eat, of course. They needed nourishment. This nigga built a tent city there, served them horse meat, like from the dead horses.
Oh wow!
So they would eat whatever. but gave meat pies or whatever in order for them. So he was a hustler.
Mm-hmm.
Then, his father was born, I think like 1908 or some shit. And when his father was born, his dad went back to Germany, got married. The grandfather went back to Germany, got married, because he was German, got married, and that's when they had Donald Trump's father. Donald Trump's father came into this empire, and he started back when FHA first came out, building communities, small communities in New York or whatever like that. Boom, boom, boom. Years go by, he was just centered in like Queens and shit like that. Donald Trump, growing up, was the problem child. His dad sent him off to military school because Donald Trump was like super entitled, bad as shit, just used to get into shit. So his dad sent him off to military school. That's where he got like the discipline and shit like that from. That's where he got like, I guess, hardened that, but at the same time controlled. So he came out, and when he came out of military school, his older brother was the man. Like, his older brother was supposed to be like the heir to the Trump empire. But Don at the time had like visions. Like, he was like, fuck that, we could take Manhattan. Like, and this was around the time when he first came in, when they had a lawsuit against the Donald Trump family because they was turning away black people from renting the apartment complexes in Queens and shit. So anyway, his brother wanted to be, turned out to want to be a pilot and shit. So he go to pilot school, become a pilot, but he was a drunkard. So he was getting drunk and shit like that. And next thing you know, they just banished him from the family. Like, you know, you don't want to be part of this empire. You're not good enough. Like, this is survival of the fittest. Like, and this is Donald Trump's attitude and his dad's attitude. Like, his dad was super, like, straight-laced. Like, fuck you. If you're not good enough, like, you just can't be a part of this family. You can't continue this empire. So then his brother fizzles out of being a pilot and becomes a drunkard. So they turn this nigga into the super for the building. Like, you just a janitor now.
Wow.
And, you know, you still part of the family, but we don't fuck with you. And I think the best explanation for Donald Trump was this, right? So he had this guy that he met that was like a ballroom singer. Nigga was amazing to Donald Trump. Like, he thought he was amazing. So he was like, listen, I'm having a dinner. It's going to be some heavyweights from the music recording industry there. I think you should come perform. I can get you a record deal. So en route to the dinner, that singer, I think, got into a fender bender or something where he had to go to the hospital. Like, he couldn't make it. So Donald Trump was like, see, some people are meant to be losers their whole lives. Like, I could have changed his life. Like, this could have been life-changing situations, but that wasn't for him. Like, his life was meant for him to be a loser. And he'll never get another opportunity again. That's Donald Trump.
Wow.
How cold, callous, and black and white. Like, he's literally one of those people. Like, there's winners and there's losers. And if you're a loser, you stay a loser. His brother ended up dying later in life. Like, and he looked up to his brother for a long time, too. And that was another dynamic. Like, but when his dad, like, pegged him as the loser, it was like, no, you just a loser. We don't fuck with you. And that explanation for Donald, like, that documentary gave me a little more insight as to the type of man he is, and like, ego driven. Like, he's the guy epitome of, like, when you're saying niggas got small meat, like a dick measuring contest. Yeah, I look at him like that. Like, he's the guy that's just like, you know,
and his whole persona is that. His whole persona, his hair swoop, everything. Like, it's these micro things, these micro expressions that kind of are a telling sign of who you actually are. That hair swoop says, it speaks volumes about that man.
Absolutely.
Volumes. The color of his skin speaks volumes about that man.
The orange president. But
speaks volumes.
Man, he's an interesting character. But I thought the documentary was good as it gave me a little more insight as to the president at hand. So
we are pushing 2 hours.
Yeah, no, that's why I wanted to wrap it up with that. We technically not though, because we only been recording for like 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, facts.
We ain't start recording like 15 minutes into that, but go ahead
though. You gotta do that.
Huh?
Oh, where's Daryl when we need him? I don't know how to bring it out.
So I know.
Oxymoronical flow and
shark. We brought y'all a little shark. We gave y'all a little dull. We hope y'all enjoyed some of the sharp and some of the dull parts of our conversation yet again. But this is another offering of the Rants and Tangents crew. Thanks for tuning in, and tune back next week. Maybe it'll be 3 of us.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
It might be 2. Shay might not be here, but I'll be here. Or I might not be here, but Shay and Daryl will be here. And whatever. But Rants and Tangents, thanks for tuning in. Peace, y'all.
Peace.